Good. Go twice. Last one now. 1, 2. 1, 2 up, body head, making this. 1, 2, 1, 2 up, body head, making this.
4-7.
Trying to quick response to Bellew and Froch.
Bellew and Froch, what can I say about them guys? Come and meet me face to face. I'll eat Froch alive and I'll eat Bellew alive. And by the way, Bellew got his ass handed to him by a bantamweight.
Carl Froch trained hard yesterday with Tony Bellew, and you can see the respect and skill he brings into the ring. John Fury reacted like a ticking time bomb, shouting he will eat both of them alive, warning Tony Bellew and Carl Froch not to underestimate his fury.
You still hit the bag in there?
I've got one in my gym at home, and I hit it for half an hour sometimes. Just get sweating out. Better than running, I can't stand running. So I just hit the bag just like.
Carl Froch also did not hold back in his response, calling out John Fury with precision and confidence. He warned Fury to stay away, promising that one clean jab would be enough to end him. Froch's focus and controlled aggression show why he commands respect in the ring.
Why you think he's not been punished or been held accountable for his ludicrous, ridiculous, thuggish actions, because it's not good enough. We don't want to see that around professional boxing. We don't want that around our beautiful sport. But anyway, Big John Fury, you won't be headbutting Tony Bellew. He would end you with one little jab hook, it'd be game over. And the same with me, you won't be headbutting me. Don't come anywhere near me, nowhere in the vicinity within my jab, or you will be getting ironed out. You'll be unconscious. You'll be snoring before you hit the floor. Big John Fury, the bare knuckle champion, the fighting man. You'll be asleep before you hit the floor. So don't talk.
Carl Froch kept his composure while delivering a stern warning to John Fury. He made it clear that stepping out of line would have consequences. Froch's discipline and focus show he is fully prepared and unfazed by Fury's antics, standing tall as the real professional in this heated scenario.
Don't talk rubbish. Let's just move on from it. Stay in your box that you've been put in. You've piped down, you're quieting down. That's good. They've obviously had a word with you. Keep your mouth shut. Stay out of trouble, because if you don't, there's going to be serious ramifications. So stay piped down, stay in your box, keep your mouth shut, and we don't want to see any more of you. At the press conference, at the weigh-in, they didn't want to see you on fight night. You'll sure you'll be jumping around like a jack in the box, but stay in your box you've been put in, and stay out of my way, because I can assure you it will not end well.
John Fury tried to dismiss the tension with his usual bravado, acting as if he was untouchable. But it's clear he is rattled by Carl Froch's disciplined training with Tony Bellew. His attempt to act bigger than the moment only shows how Froch's presence and skill are already putting him on edge.
He's saying to the lads, I wish it was last weekend, but the weekend just gone. Well, we've got 5 days to wait now, so I'm expecting that if it's not a career best performance,
John Fury flaunts his lifetime of gym experience and boasts like a man untouchable in the room. Every word is designed to provoke, to grab attention, to show dominance. But Carl Froch stays composed, letting Fury heat up the moment while quietly preparing to turn that arrogance against him in the ring.
What, you know what I'm saying? I've been around the gyms all my life. I've come off 200 years of knowledge in my head. These people can't compete with John Fury, and you'll see it on the 20.
Carl Froch keeps his cool and speaks with sharp authority. He exposes John Fury's bravado as empty threats, showing the difference between a true professional and a loudmouth. Froch doesn't overplay it, but every word makes Fury's bluster look weak and predictable, proving why experience beats theatrics any day.
I'm not going to big myself up too much. So he's never stepped into the ring, which is what I'm trying to get at, with a real professional boxer, ever. And recently he's been running his mouth saying, if you got me in a ring, a boxing ring, UFC ring, the only ring I'd be getting in is a boxing ring. He said he'd choke me out. So maybe when he sees me he's talking about choking me out. But let's just be clear about this. He won't be choking out anybody.
Carl Froch and Eddie Hearn expose John Fury's antics as laughable and attention-seeking. While Fury hypes himself up, Froch remains unshaken, showing the clear gap between real fighters and loudmouths. It's obvious Froch uses composure as a weapon, letting Fury's theatrics backfire while building respect in the boxing world.
Yeah, you cracking up laughing. What was all that about? What was so funny about that? Why didn't you stay? Why didn't you say then? Why didn't you step in and say, "Hang on a minute"?
I went
Froch
to
in
him.
a boxing
I
match.
even told him I think he'd knock you out, like personally.
What?
Do you know
As
what I
in,
mean?
to try and build it.
I'd
Trying to
love
do
the
me a
fight
favour.
though, wouldn't it? I mean, like, you got Tony Bellew over there, he's going, do you know what, I could beat that Bridgerweight. Like, I watch you on the bag sometimes, right? In my
Actually, is
opinion,
Bellew coming back?
he said, like, I just feel like a fight comes up, you know what it's like, you've looked at it before and like, you know, but...
Joe Egon doesn't mince words and nails it on the head. Carl Froch's legacy as a Hall of Famer overshadows John Fury's bluster. Fury's bullying persona collapses against Froch's proven power and skill, making it clear that experience and technique will dominate over empty threats and theatrics every single time.
I watched Carl Froch getting knocked down by George Groves. He was gone. Carl Froch has an incredible will to win. The fights that he's had with the great champions. And he's come out of the sport intact. For John Fury to be calling out Carl Froch on his opinion, because Carl Froch is entitled to give his opinion in boxing. If you can't have freedom of speech, what was the point of these men and women dying in the world wars, giving their lives in vain?
What do you think would actually happen if John Fury and Carl Froch, as he is,
Carl Froch could stand there and say to John, I'll give you 2 free shots, John. Hit me with your right hand and hit me with your left hand.
John Fury storming toward Carl Froch shows his typical aggression, but it's all smoke. Froch has faced far tougher men and handled them with calm precision. While Fury looks chaotic and desperate for attention, Froch's composure makes him appear untouchable. This isn't about intimidation, it's about real skill versus overhyped bravado.
He went and tried to approach Carl Froch, screaming all these things at him. You know, the fighting man, you know, John Fury, 100-0 on the hard road, in spite of the fact he's been ironed out in the boxing ring plenty of times, including by non-punchers like Henry Akinwande, and it's all there for the people to see. He was going in on Carl Froch.
John Fury's antics might entertain some, but it's Froch who has the real threat. Ade Oladipo highlights the danger in Fury's recklessness, yet it's clear Froch is unaffected. The veteran boxer doesn't rise to the noise. He lets Fury make himself look foolish while demonstrating that skill, experience, and mental toughness always outweigh empty aggression.
The fights, I mean, John Fury looked like he was trying to fight Carl Froch. Obviously, Carl has said a few things about John Fury over the last few months, and John Fury, being John Fury, went straight for him. I'm not quite sure what he was going to do if he got to him, but I guess that was the entertainment from the press conference.
David Adelai's insight reminds everyone that Carl Froch isn't just technical, he's a genuine puncher. John Fury can bark all he wants, but he hasn't faced a force like this. Froch's combination of timing, accuracy, and unexpected power makes him a nightmare for anyone trying to hype themselves with bravado. Fury's theatrics are no match for real danger in the ring.
He hits harder than people expect, I think. I think a lot of people, obviously, they pick up on his boxing and how good of a boxer he is, but he hits harder than people expect.
Adam Smith points out that Carl Froch's confidence naturally rattles John Fury. Froch doesn't need to shout or provoke, his reputation speaks for itself. While Fury makes a scene, Froch stays sharp, keeping focus on the fight. The tension is entertaining, but Froch's poise proves he thrives in pressure situations, turning any chaos into strategic advantage.
Carl having a go at the Furies, probably over his time on his channel, maybe, I'm guessing, and John didn't like that and wants to have a fight with him, something like that.
It was something like that. I don't think he was necessarily turning down a fight.
What I do know is that John Fury and Carl Froch on the cobbles will be fun. I think they both have.
Johnny Nelson nails it. John Fury excels at hype, but Carl Froch delivers substance. Fury's role is entertainment, creating drama, while Froch's presence guarantees results in the ring. The veteran's experience, precision, and ruthless mindset make him a cut above, proving that noise and theatrics are no match for a Hall of Famer ready to control every moment.
Carl Froch.
Share Froch on fine, because I'm quite sure Carl's going to rip the life out of John after today. I think John did a job. John did a job and got the excitement going, got people talking. That's exactly what he did.
Honestly, it looks more clownish than intimidating. Carl Froch, in contrast, stays focused and professional, ignoring the theatrics and keeping his eyes on the prize. In my opinion, Fury's antics expose his insecurity. He relies on shock value because he knows skill alone won't carry him. Froch doesn't need to prove anything with ridiculous stunts. He lets his history, record, and power speak for him. Fury can shout, show off, or pull stunts, but when the bell rings, experience and composure win. Froch thrives in these moments, turning chaos into an advantage, while Fury's theatrics are just empty noise.
Said father of the king of the world. I think he's referring to Tyson Fury. You know, when you have kids, you know, most people, when they want to talk about their children, they might pull their mobile phone out and show a few pictures. Big John just shows you his balls. That's where they came from. If there's anyone who needs a Manscaped advert, it's fucking John Fury.
Liam Goff perfectly lays out the contrast between John Fury's theatrics and Carl Froch's professional mindset. Fury always makes it about ego, money, and showmanship, while Froch handles it with class and strategy. Turning the arrangement into a charity fight shows Froch's intelligence and composure, making him appear calm and in control. Fury's loud threats and conditions don't intimidate Carl Froch at all. Instead, they highlight Froch's mental edge. Froch is ready, respectful, and fully focused, proving that real champions don't need empty bluster to dominate.
John Fury was doing that and goading Carl Froch. And I know John Fury doesn't like Carl Froch. Carl Froch mentions him, although I haven't really watched much of Carl Froch's videos lately. But Carl Froch, I know, has mentioned John Fury in the past. He's had a go with John Fury. They actually talked about having an actual, was it an exhibition or a boxing type match? And John Fury, the, any man, any time, was saying words to the effect of, oh, I'll fight you, Carl Froch, but the money has to be right. And Carl Froch basically said, alright, well, if we arrange payment, it can go to...
Eddie Hearn's words make it clear that while John Fury is big and unpredictable, Carl Froch's skill and experience will always prevail. Froch doesn't need to throw wild punches or rely on brute force. He reads, adapts, and punishes mistakes with precision. Fury might scare casual viewers with his size and aggression, but Froch thrives under pressure, turning chaos into opportunity. The mental edge is clear. Froch stays calm, focused, and calculating, whereas Fury reacts emotionally. On the cobbles or in the ring, Froch's composure and knowledge give him the advantage, proving why he's a true professional and why Fury's bluster is no match for decades of experience.
I would never back against Carl Froch on the cobbles. Ever. But John Fury's a big old lump. There'll be some illegal moves in there. Do you know what I mean? But if they ever get close, Carl will be swinging. Do you know what I mean?
Gareth A. Davies highlights the difference between passion and professionalism. John Fury thrives on hype, emotions, and dramatic displays, often losing focus in the process. Carl Froch, however, channels confidence and courage professionally, always measured and ready for real challenges. While Fury's energy is chaotic and unpredictable, Froch remains mentally sharp, adapting to threats and staying composed. His focus and strategy show true ring intelligence. Froch doesn't need to shout or intimidate with theatrics because his record, experience, and presence speak volumes. He handles pressure and attention with calm authority, proving that skill, composure, and tactical intelligence always trump empty bluster, no matter how loud or dramatic Fury gets.
What John does, he's very, very, very passionate around his sons when they're fighting, and it gets something out of him. I spoke to him, right, literally face to face, and I said, well, what is upset? He said, I don't want people calling me out because I'll take any man on.
Yeah.
You know the comments.
Yeah.
My guy.
The build-up to the showdown has been pure theater, with John Fury screaming, threatening, and trying to intimidate, but all it's done is put Carl Froch in the perfect position to shine. Froch has been calm, calculated, and focused throughout, training hard with Tony Bellew and showing that experience and skill beat empty bravado every time. If John Fury somehow wins, it would be a shock, a rare case of size and chaos overcoming decades of professional ring IQ, but even then the hype he's created only highlights Froch's mental edge. If Carl Froch shocks the world, it will be a masterclass in composure, timing, and brutal precision, proving why he's a true fighting man. Mentally, Froch is miles ahead, staying unshaken while Fury's antics scream insecurity. The crowd wants chaos, but Froch delivers controlled destruction, and that's where the excitement really lies. This fight isn't just about punches, it's about brains, heart, and legacy. Make sure you're watching closely, comment below who you think will come out on top, and don't miss a second of the action because Froch is ready to remind everyone why he's the real king of the ring.